Israel has just been handed a 3-week deadline that could completely transform the situation in Gaza, and the countdown has already begun. In a stunning move, Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer has stepped directly into the crisis, and his message to Israel was blunt: end the war, or London will push for Palestine's official recognition at the United Nations. This wasn't just another diplomatic handshake or routine state visit. What went on behind closed doors in Downing Street could reshape the future of the Middle East for decades to come. And trust me, if you've been following this conflict, the next few weeks may be unlike anything we've seen before. So stay tuned, because this story is escalating at lightning speed. Let's break down exactly what happened, because the mainstream headlines are glossing over the deeper meaning. The key player in this dramatic turn is Mahmoud Abbas, the 89-year-old president of the Palestinian Authority. Abbas landed in London on Sunday night, in what many diplomats are calling the most critical Palestinian visit to Europe in decades. And here's the twist: just last month, Washington blocked him from attending the UN General Assembly in New York. Yet suddenly, Britain rolls out the red carpet. Why? Because Starmer isn't just reacting to Gaza, he's making a bold geopolitical move. Now here's the real shocker. During that meeting, it emerged that Britain is not acting alone. France, along with other influential European nations, are preparing to recognize Palestine as an independent state at the United Nations. And not years from now, this could unfold at the upcoming UN session, just weeks away. Imagine the weight of that decision. These aren't small countries seeking publicity. These are global powers with economic clout, military reach, and permanent seats at the Security Council. A coordinated move like this would send tremors through world capitals everywhere. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Starmer didn't just issue a threat, he offered Israel a way out. His message was clear: stop the bombardment in Gaza, release the hostages held by Hamas, and allow humanitarian aid to flow freely. Do that, and Britain will hold back from this diplomatic, nuclear option. Refuse, and the recognition of Palestine becomes reality. The choice is now in Israel's hands. What makes this meeting historic is that Abbas and Starmer weren't simply posing for photographs. They struck a political understanding: Hamas will have no role whatsoever in any future Palestinian government. Zero influence, zero legitimacy. This is monumental. It signals that Britain is willing to support Palestinian statehood, but only under leadership that rejects extremism. For Abbas, it's a chance to elevate his authority over Hamas. For Israel, it's potentially a way to separate Palestinian governance from the militants who launched the October 7th attacks. And the drama doesn't end there. Just as Abbas departs London, Israeli President Isaac Herzog is set to arrive. Officially, his trip is about showing solidarity with Britain's Jewish community amid rising anti-Semitism. But let's be realistic. There is no way Herzog will ignore the political ground Abbas just gained in Downing Street. The timing is remarkable, like a live chess match, with London as the board and the world watching every move. Why should Israel take this ultimatum seriously? Because Britain isn't just talking, it's acting. Already, arms sales are being suspended, trade talks paused, and Israeli officials have been barred from attending one of Britain's largest annual defense expos. These are not symbolic gestures. They are tangible blows to Israel's defense and economic network. Britain provides critical components for Israeli military hardware. Losing that supply chain during wartime could cripple entire systems. Add France and other European nations into the mix, and Israel faces a level of coordinated pressure it has rarely experienced. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is also fueling this diplomatic momentum. Reports from aid groups describe famine spreading, hospitals running out of supplies, and children dying from preventable illnesses. Every additional day of suffering pushes more countries to reconsider their support for Israel's military approach. And that's the danger: Israel isn't just fighting Hamas anymore, it's fighting to hold on to its international legitimacy. Here's something the public often overlooks. The Palestinian Authority under Mahmoud Abbas is not the same as Hamas. Hamas rules Gaza through violence and fear. They carried out the October 7th massacre, they're holding hostages, and they've refused serious ceasefire proposals. The Palestinian Authority, on the other hand, governs parts of the West Bank through civil institutions. They've rejected armed struggle and, in many cases, cooperated with Israeli security forces. By backing Abbas while excluding Hamas, Britain and its allies are signaling that they're ready to support Palestinians who embrace diplomacy over militancy. For Israel, this should actually be seen as an opportunity if they can look beyond short-term battlefield victories. Supporting the Palestinian Authority could provide a path toward peace talks and stability without empowering Hamas. But the window is closing fast. The UN General Assembly is approaching, and recognition of Palestine by powerful nations could be just weeks away. Once granted, that recognition cannot be undone. And the consequences would be sweeping. Israeli officials could face prosecution at international courts. Businesses and banks could be hit with sanctions. Defense cooperation agreements might collapse. Universities and cultural exchanges could be cut off. Israel could find itself as diplomatically isolated as apartheid South Africa once was. That's not just a setback, it's a generational shift. But this isn't only about Israel and Palestine. The outcome will echo far beyond the region. It's a test of whether military power still dictates political outcomes in the 21st century. If Israel crushes Hamas while the world looks away, it tells every authoritarian regime that violence works. But if the international community pushes back with recognition, sanctions, and legal action, it sets a precedent. There are limits, and there are consequences for crossing them. China is watching as it eyes Taiwan. Russia is watching in the middle of its war with Ukraine. Other regional powers are watching too. The ripple effects of this moment could define global diplomacy for decades. So here's where things stand: Israel faces a fork in the road. Option 1, comply with the conditions, halt the bombing, allow aid, negotiate hostages, and engage with the Palestinian Authority. That path could calm the crisis and prevent further diplomatic isolation. Option 2, reject Britain's warning, continue the offensive, and risk a cascade of recognition for Palestine that would fundamentally alter the conflict forever. Does Israel see STARMER's move as a genuine threat or a bluff? Some analysts believe London might hesitate to go through with such a bold step, fearing a rift with Washington or repercussions in NATO. But if Israel bets on that hesitation and loses, it could suffer one of its greatest diplomatic defeats in modern history. This is why the stakes are so high. If Britain succeeds in using recognition as leverage, it could set a precedent for other conflicts worldwide. Taiwan, Western Sahara, Kosovo, places where diplomatic recognition alone could change realities without a single missile fired. Suddenly, diplomacy itself becomes the most powerful weapon. For Palestinians, recognition would mark a historic triumph, one that generations have fought for. For Israel, it would represent a staggering loss of legitimacy. And for the world, it would serve as a reminder that refusing compromise can come with heavy costs. So, are we about to witness Palestine being recognized by major Western powers for the first time in history? Or will Israel step back and prevent that nuclear diplomatic strike? The world is watching, and the clock is ticking. What do you think? Will Israel accept the deal, or risk isolation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.